When I was little, I wanted to do all of the things in here. But now I'm old, and I'm tired. See, I'm telling you this because I think it's important what I was like when I truly wanted to be king. You see, I think it's better to talk about what kings, travellers, and writers were like before they grew up, so that children will know that they could also grow up to be statesmen, writers, and travellers too. See, grown-ups should not read my novel King Mab. Some of the chapters, they're not very nice. See, grown-ups will laugh at them, they'll misunderstand them. But if you really want, well, you can't tell a grown-up not to do something. They won't listen to you.
It's not good news. The king is seriously ill. If things don't get better within a few days, then it's very bad.
So what will happen if the king doesn't get better?
If the king doesn't get better, well, then I don't hold out much hope at all.
Thank you, Doctor. If you could leave us.
We need to discuss what to do. The king may not get better soon. Who is going to rule the country?
Well, according to the law, if the king dies, his eldest son inherits the throne.
But the king only has one son.
Well, he only needs one.
All right.
But the king's son is little Matt. What sort of king would he be?
Matt doesn't even know his letters yet.
Well, nothing like this has ever happened before in our country, but in many others it has. The king's died and his little child had to become king.
How could a king not know how to write or count, or know geography or grammar?
How will he be able to make an account? How will he be able to make a budget without knowing the multiplication tables?
None of my men will be afraid of such a small child. How will he give orders to the army?
It's not just the army. No one will respect Matt. I'll have constant strikes in my hands.
The law is clear. If the king dies, his eldest child inherits the throne.
But it's
My country demands that your next king be Matt the First, or there'll be war.
Well, if that's how you feel, let there be war.
All right, I'll inform my government.
Fine. I'm going to summon more doctors. Get the finest doctors to look at the king. Yes, now.
It's getting late now, gentlemen. Let's have some more wine. If Matt becomes king, he won't need wine. Children don't smoke cigars either, so I thought half of you alone.
Let's drink to the health of our great king, King Matt the First.
Daddy, I don't want you to die.
I don't want to die either. I don't want to leave you all alone, my son. This summer was delightful for the village children because they were included in practically all of the games. Now, Karen taught them not only new games, but new songs and stories, how to make bows and hats, how to weave baskets and huts, and new ways of finding and drying mushrooms. And Karen, who could barely speak English 2 months before, was now teaching the shepherds how to read.
I don't understand you people at all. You know hundreds of different fleas and flies and bugs, and you can't remember 26 silly letters. You think there's something difficult about it, but there isn't. Tell yourself it's easy, and it will be.
Reading's easy, said the shepherds.
That girl is really something. The teachers hollered at them for a whole year and those dummies learn nothing. She comes along and tells them the letters look like insects and they learn in a minute.
My calf's sick. Now, Karen's just a child, but she took one look and said, your calf will die in 3 days. Now, she didn't have to tell me. I've had calves die on me before. But then she says, I can save your calf with a particular herb, if it grows round here. So, she looks and she looks. You know, she sniffs and she bites. And then she says, the right one's not here. But we can use this herb as it has the same bitter taste. So she mixes it with some milk and she gives it to the calf. which drinks it like it understood. And what do you know? The calf was all better.
Dr. Henryk, how come Karen could do all those things? I wish I could do all those things.
There's no way she could do all those things like fighting and climbing trees. Girls can't do that.
We can too! You take that
Of course she could do those things. Boys and girls can do all sorts of things. It doesn't matter whether you're one or the other. Karen was special because she didn't take no for an answer. All right, that's enough of the story for today. To bed, everyone.
Off you go to bed.
Dr. Henryk, do you really think that I could do all of those amazing things?
Of course you can, especially you, Uncle. You know, I've never seen someone learn to read so quickly. You're clever, just like Karen.
But I get scared, not like Karen. She never gets scared. And sometimes the big boys, they're mean to me and they say I can't play with them and I don't say anything.
Oh, but Karen gets scared too. We all get scared, even me. But you know what I do when I get scared? I tell myself, I know I'm scared. But do you know what's scarier than failing? Never trying at all. So, do you think that next time you're scared, you could think of Karen and try anyway? Off you go to bed. Every day, Matt would wake at 7 o'clock. He would wash and dress, shine his boots himself, and make his bed. This custom was established by Matt's great-grandfather, King Paul the Conqueror. Then, Matt would have breakfast, which lasted no longer than 16 minutes and 35 seconds. This custom was established by Matt's grandfather, King Julius the Virtuous. Then, Matt would hear his ministers in the throne room where there was no heat. This custom was established by Matt's great-grandmother, Anna the Pious, when she nearly asphyxiated due to a faulty stone.
Bolton wishes to make a diplomatic alliance with us, Your Majesty.
We have 200 cannons that need repairing, 3 fortresses that need more style, and we have 1,006 soldiers.
The children aren't studying, Your Majesty. They're late to school. It's a disaster. We need more teachers.
Your Majesty, we don't have enough money. We can't possibly afford more cannons or more teachers.
Then, Matt would walk to the royal gardens, where he would watch the other boys play outside the palace.
We must defend not only our lives but our country, our honour. This is our time to fight.
After, Matt would have to study. Now, Matt didn't always pay attention, as he had a very vivid imagination.
I wonder if I could invent a magnifying glass that can make gunpowder catch fire from very far away. Then I could declare war on the other kings, and just before the big battle, I'd blow up with the ammunition. Imagine my father, Stephen the Wise, could have passed off his intelligence to me. He'll never be as clever as he was. Or what if I could have inherited Paul the Conqueror's courage, or Anna the Wise's piety?
Sometimes, being the king was really hard for Matt. There were many things he couldn't do. See, a king must honour tradition and ancestors, so it's very difficult to do something differently. But once in a while, he might make small changes though.
I know the royal gardens are beautiful, but it's boring to be alone, even the most beautiful of gardens. Please may I go to the courtyard where the children play?
All right, Matt. I'll try.
The doctor replied to the Marshal of the Court and Palace Administration, where, at the meeting of the ministers, it was agreed that Matt could take 3 walks every 2 weeks.
Hello again, Matt.
Hello, Rina.
Do you want to come and play on the street? Do you have a little sister?
No.
What does your daddy do?
My daddy is dead.
Oh.
He was the king.
Oh. If my daddy was king, he'd have to buy me a doll that reached up to the ceiling.
must insist that you do not take walks. It's simply too dangerous. Now, if we could move on to other matters.
Mr. Prime Minister, I demand that you buy the biggest doll in the world and give it to Henryk.
Your Royal Highness deigns to remark...
Mr. Prime Minister, that is my absolute wish.
Very well, I will present this wish at the next council meeting.
Extra! Extra! King Matt buys the biggest doll in the world and gives it to a little girl!
Dear Felek, for a long time I watched you play in the Royal Gardens. I'd really like to play as well, but I'm the king, so I can't. Please write back and tell me all about yourself. Maybe, if your father is a soldier, you could come play in the palace sometime. Dear King, my father is the platoon leader of the Palace Guard. I would like to play with you, Your Majesty. I am loyal to you and willing to follow you through fire to the last drop of my blood. If you ever need help, just whistle and I'll come immediately. Felek. How did she get in here?
I climbed over the fence.
Listen, Felek. I'm very unhappy. I just became king. I have all these papers that need to be signed. They say I'm the king, but all I'm doing is what they tell me. It's so boring, and I never get to do anything fun.
Who's forbidding it, Royal Highness?
Ministers. There's no end to them.
Are they soldiers or civilians?
Well, only one is a soldier, the Minister of War.
And the rest are civilians?
I don't know what civilian means.
Civilians don't wear uniform or carry swords.
Yes, they're civilians.
Are there any cherry trees in the Royal Gardens?
Yes, I can give you cherry trees as many times as you like.
All right. We can't meet too often. They might find out. We'll just pretend we don't know each other and write letters. We can use cherries and hide them in the fence to mark the spot. You whistle and I'll come get them.
And you can whistle in your reply.
You can't whistle at a king.
Oh.
I'll make a sound like a cuckoo.
Good, but when would you come again?
Well, I don't know. I have to be careful of my father. He's a platoon leader and has very sharp eyes. He said, Felek, if you ever go near the Royal Gardens, I'll skin you alive!
How will you get home then?
I don't know. Your Royal Highness should go first. I'll think of something.
Three kings have declared war on your Royal Highness. My father always said he'd get drunk from joy when war broke out. When he does, I'll come see you. I'm going to show those other kings. They think just because I'm not big like them, they can bully me. Why have I been summoned? Do I need to be at a special meeting or something? It is my absolute wish that the minister will be summoned at once.
At once.
What is that snot-nosed kid playing at?
This is preposterous.
Mr. Prime Minister, the law forbids the king be spoken about in such a fashion at official meetings. You may think what you like, but you may not say such things.
So it's war.
It is. Extra! Extra! Crisis in the ministry!
Who can I talk to at such an important time? I am a little boy, and I'm all alone. You gave me the crown to wear, so please help me now. I wish my father was here. He was always so wise, he would know what to do. I don't want to let everyone down, but I don't know what to do.
Your Highness, it's time for the meeting.
floor. I regret to say that in these difficult times, I am forced to say that I am simply unable to continue as Prime Minister. While I regret to leave the Prime Minister at such a difficult time, I am simply sick and unable to continue.
That's all good and jolly, but it's war now. There's simply no time to be sick. You know everything, Mr. Prime Minister, so you simply must stay on.
But the newspapers already said I'm resigning.
They'll say different. That is my absolute request. Gentlemen, we must defend our country. We must defend our honour.
So your Majesty will fight all three countries?
Would you have me where would you have me surrender? I'm not the great grandson of Paul the Conqueror. I trust in God.
Very well, gentlemen. We must stay on. We must defend our country and our honour. Yes? Good. Let's begin.
Read all about it! Crisis resolved!
Should I be making speeches, or ride your white horse, leading an army to battle?
Maybe in a book. But nowadays, war isn't about white horses and speeches. It's about cannons and bread and having enough ammunition.
Your Highness, the countries which have declared war, their ambassadors are here, and they're ready to leave.
Where are they going?
Back to their homes.
Aren't they our prisoners now?
Your Highness, ambassadors can't be taken prisoner. Otherwise, their governments could take our ambassadors prisoner.
So why have they come here?
To say farewell to you.
Shall I defend it?
No, you should be polite. Besides, they'll be very polite.
Tell your kings that I am truly delighted that war has broken out. I will try and defeat you quickly, but my terms of peace will be fair, just as my ancestors always were in victory.
Your Highness, I just wanted to say goodbye. I'm going to leave for the front. My father got drunk just like he promised and started packing his bags. He lost his jackknife and thought I took it, so he gave me a good thrashing. I'm going to run away from home. I met some soldiers at the train station. They promised to take me with them. Do you have any last orders before I leave?
No, I don't have any orders to you. Here are your provisions. I'm sorry I couldn't get any vodka.
Well, don't worry. This is even better. And don't worry about the tobacco either. I'll get a soldier's ration soon.
How are the preparations going? How's the war?
The first two battles were lost because the old general's stupid.
What? So I'll not defend the country. The country will defend me. What about my royal honour? What will my father think? I'm not just going to stay here studying. Felix, do you want to be my friend?
Yes, Your Royal Highness.
Felix, I'm going to tell you a secret, so you can't tell anyone.
Yes, Your Royal Highness.
I'm going to run away with you to the front.
Yes, Your Royal Highness.
I'm not the Royal Highness anymore. Now I'm... What should I be? I know. Tommy. You should call me Tommy.
Yes, Your... Yes, Your... Okay, so you need to be ready at 2 o'clock this morning. Meet me at the gate over there. Oh, and you're going to need some more provisions if you're going to come too.
You there, Felix?
Damn, it's dark. You might run to the guards. The soldier said they'd be right here. You didn't bring an overcoat.
No, it's in the royal cloakroom.
No knapsack either. Only a chump doesn't bring a knapsack.
Oh, a hero?
Ballet, I've been looking everywhere for you. Come on, we're boarding soon.
Who's the kid, Felix?
Never you mind. Thanks to him, I've got some cognac.
Give us a taste.
We'll see.
That's a fair. You won't give us any cognac. We're leaving you. I got you a place on the train. You promised to do what I said.
You can't tell me what to do.
Oh, listen here, Kitty. You better do what we say or we'll kick you out.
What's going on here? How old are you two?
10.
Captain have you thrown off?
Well, then I'll walk to the front line.
Wait. We've got cognac. We'll share it with you if you hide us.
Alright, we'll hide you. Don't worry.
Here, Kitty. Have a slug of that. That'll make you a real soldier.
Dareth, tyrant's ministers in cod liver oil.
Who are you calling a tyrant? Not King Man. You've better be careful so you don't want the wrong person hearing that.
King Matt is not a tyrant.
Quick, train's leaving.
What's your name?
Alex.
Oh, Alex, my name's Henryk. You're going to be okay, Alex. Tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Warsaw.
Right, come on, let's get you out of here. Let's get you to the hospital. Hi, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks to you. They tell me I should be back in the trenches soon.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. So, tell me, do you have a wife? A family back in Warsaw?
Yes, thank you, Lieutenant. I have a very beautiful wife and a small daughter. Do you have any family?
Well, not as such. I don't have any children, not of my own.
What do you mean? Have you adopted?
Kind of. I run an orphanage back in Warsaw, you see, and all of the children, they're all my children in some way.
One child is hard enough. I can't imagine having a whole building full of them.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Besides, I have a wonderful assistant, Stefan. So tell me, how old's your daughter?
She's 5. Does your wife work with you?
Oh, no, I'm not married. Anyway, I really must be going. It was great seeing you again, Alex. Oh, hi, Alex. Are you off so soon?
Yes. They tell me about staying my welcome.
Well, I really should be going with you to the front. They tell me I'm of more use here in the hospital.
Well, I would feel safer knowing you're nearby, but I'm glad you're staying here.
Thank you.
Perhaps after the war, I could come see this orphanage of yours. It sounds wonderful.
Yes, actually I've had so many fantastic ideas. You know, I was thinking I might get the children to start their own newspaper.
That would be something to read. Well, goodbye, Henryk. Lieutenant.
Wake up, sleepyheads, your soup will get cold.
Come on, Tom, and eat up. That's all we're getting.
I have a headache. I'm itchy.
That'll be the fleas. Worse than bullets they are.
Quick, captain's come in. Hide in the corner.
You, soldier! Why aren't you wearing correct uniform?
Me, sir.
Yes, you, soldier. That's not regulation. Go down the trains. Soldier 2 carriages down who can fix you up.
Sir, yes, sir.
Hanach, I want to get up and move about.
Well, you can't. Someone might see you.
Why did you leave me stop for so long?
Yeah, you probably blew up a bridge.
No, you probably ran out of coal.
Neither. All transports have been stopped because the king's train's passing by.
But who's in it? Can't be King Matt.
What good can he do here?
Doesn't matter. He's the king and that's that.
Nowadays, kings don't go to war.
Maybe other kings wouldn't, but Matt would.
No, kings just lie around in feather beds. Maybe in the old days it was different.
How many kings died more? And how many soldiers?
That's cause there's one king and many soldiers.
And maybe you'd like more than one king, but enough trouble with the one we've got.
What would a king do in war anyway? If he slept on the grass, he'd catch a cold right away. And he wouldn't be able to sleep anyway because of the fleas. He'd get a headache from the smell of soldiers. Kings are too delicate for war. What's that sound? We gotta go for an inspection. You two, stay here, stay hidden.
Lud, keep your mouth shut, Tommy.
Sorry, I'm just so tired and everything hurts.
What
No. They were right anyway. What use am I? I'm just a stupid, ignorant little king. I've only had a few more years. I've never even been outside the capital. I don't know geography or military strategy or anything. But I'm going to do my part, Felix, I promise you that.
Our plan has succeeded, Prime Minister. We have successfully defeated the first king and taken their supplies.
Good, good.
And who are these two giants?
We're kings like the rest, just a little smaller.
The Indian general has advanced too far, and the enemy has come up from behind.
What was he thinking?
Gather in, men! Gather in! This way, men! We'll lose them in the ravine. Stay strong!
I'm so hungry.
Don't like what real food tastes like.
When was the last time we had something other than bread?
Rest over, men!
Life stopped.
Quiet. I need to work out which way they're coming from. This way! Ah! I'm sorry. Men! Move out!
So, I heard that the Minister of War and the General had this huge argument, and only King Matt could get them to talk to each other again.
Who'd have thought such a little guy, you know?
Hey, Valak, we've got a reconnaissance mission tomorrow night. You and Tomek should come with us. We could sneak under the fences easy.
Don't say Tomek. He's too little. What goodly be to us?
Okay, if you say so.
Your king is a snot nose.
Well, yours isn't good for nothing better!
You all beggars! You got holes in your boots!
You're hungry duck faces. You get slops instead of coffee.
You can't shoot! You can hit the broadside of a barn!
And you could.
Yeah?
Come on then.
Someone get him to the hospital. Felek, that's 2 days in the brig for you.
Hey, Tomek. You alright?
I'm fine. The bullet only grazed my arm. I want to come out to the front, but the doctor says I have to stay a little while longer.
Right, Tomek, we brought you some cigarettes.
I don't...
Don't give him any. He's too little.
If you have to hush off, we'll see you soon, Tomek, yeah?
I have to leave soon, Tomek.
Where are you going?
I don't want to serve in the infantry anymore. They need more light soldiers to join the Air Force. I'm going to be a pilot.
Tomek, I have a very important mission that only you can do. I need you to slip under their fences, find out where their ammunition dump is, and report back to me. Can you do that?
Okay, I'll do it, sir.
Hey, little guy. Why are you crying?
I've lost my mother. Why shouldn't I be crying?
All right. Come with me. We'll find your mother.
What's your name, little boy?
Tomek.
Sir. Okay, Tomek. We'll We'll take care of you until your mother comes back, and we'll give you food and shelter. But you have to go to the other side and see where the ammunition dump is, okay?
What's an ammunition dump?
I'll show you. Do you understand?
Okay, I'll do it, sir.
Well done, Tomek! Well done, Tomek, you are an hero! Now we know where that ammunition dump is, we can blow up that ammunition. Wait. So, men. Katherine. I've been given new and secret orders. I've been told to break through the enemy's front line. But I have an idea. We're not going to send in all our men on the first day, just a few. They'll think we're weak and stupid. On the second day, we'll throw everything at them and win. Have you got that, men? The attack begins. Charge! Retreat!
We know you, bud.
You were here before. You got your ammunition dump blown up. Well, you're not giving us a slip this time. Put the other soldiers in the prisoner of war camp. Not this one he's going to hang.
But I'm a soldier, not a spy. You can shoot me. You have no right to hang me.
Maybe you're a soldier now, but before you were Tomek and you betrayed us.
That's not fair. I was Tomek then before. I was just a disguise.
We'll see. Put him under heavy guard and we'll see what the tribunal says tomorrow.
That's not fair. It wasn't my fault you showed me where your ammunition dump was. And you want us to find out where your ammunition dump was.
That's not true. Don't listen to him. Listen to me, Tomek. I'm going to make sure you hang.
Dr. Henryk Goldszmidt, you're a respected paediatrician. But what makes you an expert in how to raise children? You don't have any of your own, do you?
No, I do not. But I've run an orphanage for many years now, and I believe that is more than enough qualification to talk about how to treat children.
Right. You talk about children's right to respect, but surely respect is something due to elders and earned by children. What do you think gives children this right to respect?
By respect, I do not mean reverence, I do not mean deference, I do not mean that adults should do the bidding of children, of course not. Respect is about human decency, it's about treating children as what they are. Children, yes, but they're whole distinct people, nevertheless. Respect is about stopping killing children today.
Yeah, that sounds all very well and good, but what about order? What about discipline? What about a parent's right to discipline their children as they see fit? To demand respect from their children?
What you're talking about is not respect. What you're talking about is fear. You say that parents have a right to discipline their children, and they do. But that should not be your question. Your question should be, is do parents have the right to be cruel? To exact punishment far harsher than ever necessary to elicit fear from their children. There are many horrible things in the world today. But the worst is when a child is afraid. Afraid of their mother, or their father, or their teacher.
You say that hitting a child's harsh, but a small smack never did anyone any harm. I mean, I myself was hit as a child, as I'm sure you were, and I'd certainly never say it did me any lasting harm. In fact, I'd say it taught me exactly what you espouse. Respect. It taught me respect for authority. It taught me that my actions have consequences.
No, it does not teach respect. Yes, it teaches consequences. It teaches that anyone older or stronger may brutally express their displeasure. We're teaching disdain for the weak, and that is no longer the world that we live in. Muscles have lost that exclusive right. It's now intellect and learning that are to be respected. See, now I would like to ask you a question. Would you ever hit an adult?
Not unless I was attacked or under grave threat.
Exactly. Under what extraordinary conditions would one dare to push, to pull, or to strike an adult? And we say how commonplace. You know, how harmless. A smack, a sharp tug at the arm, or a painful squeeze of a child. If we are to hit children, we create a sense of powerlessness. You know, an unhealthy respect for any sort of power, no matter how unjust.
Then what do you suggest? A stern telling off? This doesn't work, and we all know it.
Sir, I've run an orphanage for over 10 years now. Do you imagine it is a house where only chaos reigns? Do you imagine I have never had to discipline my children? Of course not.
Well, how do you do it?
I will answer you. But first, let me ask you another question. Do you have children?
Yes, I have 2 girls.
And when they act out, do you ever talk to them? Ask them why? Ask them to suggest a punishment for themselves?
No, but What would they say?
Exactly. You see, who asks a child for their opinion or their consent? What could they possibly say? I suggest that you try it with your children next time. You might be pleasantly surprised. Children are not clueless animals. They have thoughts, opinions, and suggestions if you had but asked. And that's exactly what I do with my children. I talk to them, I ask, and I allow them and their peers to decide punishment. I do not demand respect. Instead, I instill responsibility.
How does your Royal Majesty feel?
I am Tomek, an ordinary soldier, sir.
Fennec, who is in the bed?
His Royal Highness, King Matt I.
Will you be able to take part in your consultation, Sir Matt?
Yes, I will, but what happened? What's going on with the war?
One thing at a time.
Your Royal Highness must be wondering how we kept your disappearance a secret.
Yes, it's been a complete mystery.
It was the doll Your Highness made for Irenka. That inspired us, actually. We made a doll of yourself. It could salute and nod when a string was pulled. We couldn't tell the newspapers because we just couldn't, and therefore we told them that King Matt went about by car because King Matt vowed not to touch the ground till the land was free of enemy soldiers.
Your Highness, sir, this worked well for a long time, but the enemy spies must have figured it out, because 2 days ago, just before our attack, a spy threw a stone and, well, broke the doll. There was chaos in the capital. The enemy started dropping leaflets, telling the soldiers what had happened, that you were kidnapped. The soldiers lost all morale. It was a disaster.
I'm sorry, Your Royal Highness, I couldn't keep quiet any longer.
It's all right, Fennec. You did the right thing.
We were so relieved until we contacted the captain. He told us you'd been captured.
We couldn't tell the soldiers. They would have never believed us. So we attacked with the planes to rescue Your Highness.
When we found you, we thought you might be dead.
Gentlemen, you have acquitted yourselves valiantly, but now we must look forward to the future. We begin the general attack.
Very well. Send out the message to the troops. King Matt is alive and well. Tell the newspapers it was all a trick to confuse the enemy.
After the other kings agreed to peace, Matt led the army home. There was a grand parade into the capital, and Matt rode into the city on a white horse. He never looked more like his father.
Give me some food, damn it! Don't take these foreign fricassees away. I want cabbage, kielbasa, and beer, damn it.
I'm afraid we don't have any kielbasa, Your Highness.
Oh, you dimwit, you nincompoop, you brandy waste! Now you're gonna get it from me! Now the Nomarie, okay. The ministers won't be giving me any orders anymore.
A fine victory, but why didn't Matt demand reparations? It's all very well being noble in victory, but nobility won't pay the manufacturers for the weapons, or the shoemakers for the boots, or the farmers for the all food. They waited during the war, but what do we do now?
Yes, and am I just a decoration? Never before has a country concluded peace without the foreign minister! I'm a laughing stock! Jesus, wait!
Footman, get me a bucket of water. Pour it over me. That's how a real soldier takes a shower. Where is everyone?
They didn't know Your Highness wanted to confer with them.
Well, perhaps they thought I'll come back from the war and just go back to studying like a little sissy. Well, I'm afraid they're going to be sadly mistaken. Mr. Minister of War, I'm calling a meeting for 2 o'clock. Please arrange for a platoon of soldiers to be stationed outside the throne room. When I clap my hands, they are to come in. Because I'm telling you now, if the ministers want things to go back the way they were, I'll have them all arrested. But this is all a secret.
Yes, Your Majesty. I'll arrange it at once.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot about Felek. Come on out, Felek. Don't be afraid. I'm a real king now. I don't have to explain anything to anyone.
Well, that's a while ago. What about my father?
Tell him that you've been named the king's favourite and it's forbidden to lay a finger on you.
If only your Royal Highness would put it in writing.
I certainly will. Come with me. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, I request that you write a letter declaring that Henryk has been named the king's favourite.
But there has never been such a position at the court.
There is now, and that's my royal request.
Perhaps your Royal Highness would like to wait till the meeting of the ministers.
Immediately, damn it!
Very well. If your Highness would sign this paper demanding that another paper be written declaring Henryk the king's favourite. And if your Highness would sign this paper declaring Henryk the king's favourite.
Now let's go and play.
Hey boys, come play with the king!
You're it!
I have to go.
If I were king, I never have to do anything.
You don't understand, Henryk. Even us kings can't do everything we want.
Gentlemen, this is a strange meeting. We are in crisis, and yet we won the war. They attacked us, we forgave them, because we are good and generous. But why shouldn't they pay us what we spent? This war has created unprecedented financial difficulties, and the country's economy is in crisis. We can deal with this because we have much experience and read many wise books. And if the council is willing...
Mr. Prime Minister, enough of this hot air. That's not the point. The point is that you need to be a porcelain doll and that you run the country. I'll tell you what I say to that. I say, bill it for the 100,000 bonds! I won't have it!
Your Royal Highness.
No, I won't have it. I am the king, and I'm going to stay the king.
I would like the floor.
Fine, just keep it quick.
Well, according to the law, Book 777555 of the Book of Law and Regulations, paragraph 851, segment 5, line 85, we find, if the successors of the throne is not completed his 20th year, then he simply cannot be...
Mr. Minister of Justice, I don't care about that.
I see. Your Majesty wishes to violate the law. Well, pages 851 and 725 deal with such a case. Here we find that the law cannot suffice if the king...
Mr. Minister of Justice, I don't care about that.
I see. Your Majesty wishes to treat the law lightly. Pages 875 and 526 deal with such a case.
Oh, will you stop begging me, you pest?
There's a law for that too. In case of outbreak of plague, we find the law.
Gentlemen, you are all under arrest. Take them away.
There's a law. That's called martial law. Hey, this is very illegal.
Should I sign this? Daddy, what did I do? What do I do now? Maybe I should write to the other kings asking them for the money. What do I write? Henryk, what do you do in this situation?
In your Royal Highness's place? Why is playing the part? I never go to any meetings. I just do what I want and let them decide what they want to do.
It's a trick, Lord Henryk. All the ministers are in prison.
So just stay there if that's your desire.
Well, look at all these papers that have to be signed.
So sign them.
Well, the thing is, I don't know what to do without the ministers. Even my father needed them.
So let them out.
No. Henryk, you're a genius. I know what I'll do. I'll let them out, but now I'll know things are different. They'll obey me now, not the other way around. I'll play the children every day. No more lessons with that boring teacher. The captain of the war can teach me. That's not so bad, is it, Henryk? They'll have to agree to that.
Of course they will. You're the king. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but I have to go. I have some business in the city. Might I borrow some money? Just for the trolley fare? Maybe some chocolate? And cigarettes?
My pleasure, Henryk.
Thank you.
Where is everyone?
Matt.
become register will like it.
Why? Do you think I'm a tyrant or something?
What kind of tyrant could you be?
Oh. What is it you want?
I want to ask you to grant your prisoners a few small requests.
Speak freely, Doctor. I'm not angry at the ministers. In fact, I'm going to release them. They just have to agree not to give me too many orders.
Spoken like a true king.
You will be in charge of the grown-ups, and I will be in charge of the children. When I am 12, I will rule the children up to 12, and when I am 15, I will rule the children up to 15. As king, I'm going to do whatever I wish, but everything else will remain the same. Since I am young, I know what young people need.
We were young too, once.
But you govern over people who are older than you.
That's true.
So, Mr. Minister of Justice, is this legal?
Absolutely not. According to Law Book 1349 and 275, children belong to their parents. There's only one possibility.
What is that?
You must be called King Mac I, the Reformer.
What does that mean?
It means you are a king who changes the law. Normally, if a king says, I want to make such and such a law, I say they cannot, because there's already another law. But if you were to make a reform, then that's fine.
Well, very well. From this day on, I shall be known as King Mac I, the Reformer. Gentlemen, you're all free, but before you go, I wish to make one small reform. Tomorrow, every child is to receive a pound of chocolate.
Well, that is far too much to be healthy. A £1/4 at the most.
All right.
And if we have 5 million school children, they are all to receive chocolate.
All of them, no exceptions.
Very well. I better begin my preparations.
Your Highness, it will take at least 10 days to make all the chocolate, and at least 7 days to deliver it all.
And as your Royal Highness can see, it'll take at least 3 weeks.
I'm very sorry, this is all very well and good, but it's not a reform. If your Highness were to give every child chocolate every day, that's a reform. This is merely a treat.
Charles, let it be a treat. This meeting is finished. Goodbye, gentlemen. Come on now, Felix. I'm a real king now. I don't explain anything to anyone.
Well, that's fine for you, but what about me?
What happened?
Well, when my father saw the paper, he beat me so hard I shall start.
He really hit you.
He said, Henryk, it's the king's right to grant me his favour, but it's my right to count your bones in my fist, you mongrel!
Listen, Felix, maybe we were too hasty at that declaration. It wasn't really legal.
All right, Royal Highness.
Felix, call me Tomek. After all, we fought a war with each other, and you helped rescue me.
All right, we'll talk about the soldiers.
All right, Felix.
All right, Henryk.
Hey, I'll trade to you 2 rubber balls and a magnifying glass, that piece of paper.
But my old man will beat me again.
Well, that's true, but you have to be patient. Even us kings can't do everything we want. We have to obey the law.
What's the law?
I don't know. I think it's a bunch of books or something.
Okay. Well, you're always at meetings, so I'm sure you'll learn everything soon enough.
Don't worry, Felix. Everything will be all right. If I can give 5 million children chocolate, I can do you some good. I just need to find out what I can do for everyone. You have no idea how long it takes me to fall asleep. I'm just killing myself just trying to think of something good to do. What to give the adults? I've got money, so I don't need that. I can give them vodka, but then they just get drunk. What then?
I know, you're trying too hard. If I were king, I'd just get a seesaw for the playground, merry-go-rounds for
Then I have to get merry-go-rounds and seesaws for all the playgrounds and all the parks and
bowling alleys and rifle...
But you see what I mean?
Your Highness, first of all, you must borrow some money.
But can't we just print some new money?
No! We borrowed too much during the war, printed too much during the war. We have to wait a bit.
Your Highness, we need to borrow money from the richer kings. We're going to need 2 meetings a day to draft the documents for the loans.
Fine, you hold your meetings, but I'm going to start having lessons with the captain who taught me during the war.
Matt began his lessons in earnest. In fact, he studied so hard, he even forgot to go out and play. Now, the captain lived very far away, so Matt suggested that he and his 2 children move into the palace.
Your Highness, why don't you go to your meetings anymore?
Oh, I don't understand it anyhow. It's a waste of time.
Children came to the palace all the time now, and Felix's father, who used to be a carpenter, even taught them a seesaw. They played tag, ball games, firemen. In fact, they even went fishing in the royal pond. Now, the royal gardener was not very happy about this, and he even complained to the palace administration. But there wasn't anything that anyone could do anything now, since Matt was now a reformer king. And finally, the chocolate was ready.
Long live King Matt!
The Minister of Education even added his own surprise. He took all of the good children to the theatre, where they got to sit in a special box with Matt. It was a wonderful day, but to make up for it, the next day, Matt had difficult duties to perform.
I will take this document to the kings. Our kings wish to be in friendship with your majesty, so of course they will agree to lend your highness some money.
Your Highness, are you ready to sign a document for the loan?
Gentlemen, I defeated you during the war and demanded no reparations. And now I'm asking you to lend me the money. So don't be picky about it, hand it over.
Your Highness, before we arrive, I have a very important message from the Prime Minister.
What is it?
You must not accept any money or sign any documents for the other kings. It will almost certainly be a trick.
You don't have to worry about that. I didn't let them trick me during the first war, and I won't now.
Matt, they will try and be your friend just as they did after the war. But they'll always be trying to have everything their own way.
As if I didn't know that. I'll keep an eye out.
Matt was entertained for 10 days by the first king. He was given fabulous presents and entertained every day. He would have gladly stayed longer, but Matt had to go and see the second king. Now, the second king wasn't quite as wealthy as the first, and so he welcomed Matt a little more modestly. It was here, however, that Matt received his favourite presents. 2 trained monkeys who could perform the most marvellous of tricks. And it was in this kingdom that Matt saw the greatest zoo in the world.
Look at the penguins, Matt.
Oh, look at the polar bear!
These are all presents from my foreign friends.
Oh, I wish we had a zoo like this in our country. The children would love it, I know they would.
Then, Matt went to see the third and final king.
I heard that your majesty has an enormous building in your country. This one is big, but it's not enormous.
Yes, it's right. I didn't think your majesty would want to see the Parliament building. You don't have democracy in your country.
But I would very much like to see that. Parliament. Why does your majesty play such sad music?
Because life is no fun, my friend. The king's life is probably the saddest of all.
But the other kings are so jolly.
Oh, they're sad too, dear Matt. They only pretend to be happy for their guests. It's the custom. It's what etiquette demands. How could they be jolly when they just lost the war?
Is that why you're so worried?
Worried? I'm pleased.
Pleased?
Well, I didn't want the war.
So why did you go to war?
I had to. It's very dangerous to win a war. It can make you forget what a king's for.
What is a king for?
To bring happiness to the people of his country. Well, how can you do that? What I did was make various reforms, but reforms are the hardest thing of all.
I'll ask him for advice. He must be a good person. I'm the reformer king, but he says they're very hard. Maybe it's all a trick. None of the other kings have asked me to sign anything, or talk about the loan, or politics, or anything. They don't want to talk about such things to someone so little. Except, why is he talking to you like a grown-up?
Not sleeping, mate.
Oh, I can't fall asleep.
The dark thoughts you've been driving sleep from the eyes of little kings. You know, you were very surprised when I told you I didn't want the war with you. You still think kings can do what they want?
I know that's not true. We had to follow etiquette and obey many laws.
You do know. Yes, we make bad laws, we must obey them ourselves. Listen, man, my grandfather gave his people freedom, but it didn't turn out well. He was assassinated. My father built this great monument to freedom. What good's that? Beautiful, you see it tomorrow, but people are still poor, people are still unhappy. I ordered this great parliament building built, but nothing changed. You know, we always did the wrong thing by making reforms for adults now. Try doing it with the children, maybe you'll have more luck. Good night, man. This is my apartment, Matt.
Oh, this is ridiculous! If you don't do what we want to do, we won't be your ministers anymore!
They are intelligent ministers.
Down with the government!
Shame on you!
Down with the king!
Why are they shouting like that?
Things are going badly for them.
What about the one that said down with the king?
She always says that.
Shnat!
No, she just doesn't want a king.
Can they get rid of the king?
Yes, they just elect someone else and call them something else.
Are all children healthy like me?
No, Matt. Many children are weak and sick. They live in damp, unhealthy houses. They don't have enough food to eat, and they often go hungry.
I remember during the war, there were so many thin, pale children, but I only thought that was during times of war.
I wish it was so, Matt.
Well, can't something be done? And why can't everyone have enough food to eat and nice houses to live in?
It's very difficult. People have tried for a long time, but no one has come up with a good enough answer.
Do you think I could?
Of course you could. A king can do a lot of things. The king who plays the violin builds many hospitals and homes for his children. In his country, they spend the summer in the countryside. He made a law that says children with poor health can spend a whole summer there.
Do we have a law like that?
No, Matt. We don't have any laws like that.
Then I'll make one. Doctor, I need your help because, well, naturally the ministers will say it's too difficult, and I never know they're telling the truth.
They're right, Matt. It isn't easy.
All right, but if the king who plays the violin can make the reform, then why can't I?
It was hard for him too.
Well, then I'll do it anyway. Gentlemen, I wish to use the loan money to introduce 3 reforms. Number 1, to build summer camps in the mountains and the forests and at the beach, so that poor children can spend the summer in nature. Number 2, to build a parliament in the capital, so we have democracy like the king plays violin. Number 3, to build a great zoo with cages for wild animals like bears and tigers and beavers.
Your Majesty, we only borrowed enough money for what we needed. We have to build new bridges, new railways.
We need to build new schools.
Not to mention deaths from the war.
Had your Royal Highness told us earlier, we would have borrowed more.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Oh, what am I to do, Felek? I've all these ideas for reforms, but no money to make them happen.
So get more money.
Yes, but where from?
I don't know. Do the other kings have lots of money? You just ask them.
No. Felek, you're a genius. The Sacking is sure to levy more money. After all, it was his idea to build the parliaments.
Well, I don't know why you bother with all these big plans. If I were king, I'd just let everyone decide what they wanted to do themselves.
It's not that simple, Felek.
Why not?
No, I don't know. The Sacking showed me this big parliament place where people from all over the country met to discuss their ideas. But they argued. A lot. You know what? You're right, Felek.
This is an historic day. It's the first session of our very own orphanage parliament. What's the first motion?
Thank you, Dr. Henryk. I would like to propose a motion.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Miss Stepper. I would like to propose a change to our freedoms. I believe that children older than 13 should be allowed to roam the city freely between 10 in the morning and 7 at night, as long as they have no other responsibilities.
Very good. Are there any questions on the floor? Go ahead, Anchor.
Miss Stepper, if we do this, we'll have to come up with a system to know who is in and who is out.
That's a very good point, Anchor. Would you like to respond?
Yes, that is a very good point. Perhaps we could have a sheet to sign in and out of.
Very good. Any more questions? No? Right, then let's move to a vote. All those in favour? Excellent. The motion passes unanimously. Well done, everyone. You passed your first motion.
I'm very proud of you all. Now, who would like to propose the next motion?
Your Highness, the king who plays the violin agreed to lend us the money. All that's left is your signature. The reforms will be debated in Parliament and published in the newspapers.
Very good. Now, please write down what I want to do for the children. Every child should receive 2 balls to play with in the summer and skis for the winter. Every girl will be given a doll to play with and every boy a jackknife. Every child will receive cake and candy every day after school, and the school should be redecorated to be more colourful with larger playgrounds. Our budgets and plans within a week.
Very well.
What are those there?
I don't know, Your Royal Majesty. I was taking him to the Royal Orphanage.
These are all addressed to me. Leave these here. Fetch a Secretary of State.
Your Highness requested my presence.
Yes, what are all these letters here?
Those are unimportant letters, Your Majesty.
And you ordered them thrown out?
Your Highness, hundreds of letters are sent to you. If people find out that you actually read the letters, there'd be mountains of letters. As it is, there's 5 officials who decide which letters are important and unimportant.
If a letter is addressed to me, then I'm the only one who knows if it's important or not. Don't read my letters. Send them to me. Dear Matt, I have 2 doves and 1 rabbit. The doves I found on my roof, and the rabbit my father and I caught. I'd like to give you one of the doves, but I don't know how. Dear King, I want to tell you all about my doll. She's very pretty. I got her for my 7th birthday. I really wish I had another doll who was a boy like you I could play with. Even better, get a crown as well. Maybe my sister could have one when she's born. Dear King, I really wish I had a bike to ride to school in. Could you help King that?
Your Majesty, are you going to come for dinner?
Oh, I'm busy. Send it here.
Very well.
Dear King Matt, my name is Karen. I live very far away from you. I learned a little English from the soldiers, and I read about you in the newspaper. Your country sounds wonderful, with trains and books and railways everywhere. I wish my country could be like yours. I hope you're well, Karen.
Dear King, I really wish I had a pair of boots to walk to school in because I'm really bored at home. Can you help, King? Oh, what am I to do? I can't throw away the letters that are too difficult to read. There are so many of them. I'll finish them tomorrow.
Today's rat nail, your Royal Highness.
Oh, what's all this? No king can read through a stack of letters like this.
Mr. Secretary of State, take the letters away.
Mr. Prime Minister, I cannot allow letters written to me by the children of our country thrown out of the rubbish.
Your Highness, when your grandfather was king, we received 100 letters each day. That was no problem. But then your father, King Stephen the Wise, built schools and the whole country learned to write. And we received 1,000 letters each day. After you gave Irenka the doll, we started to receive thousands of letters each day. We had to hire an extra 5 clerks just to read all the letters.
Well, what good is it? They're thrown out of the rubbish anyway.
Your Highness, the letters aren't just read and thrown away. Each letter and what it is about is recorded.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. However, I think it'd be best if the children could come to the palace so we can write their requests in person.
A wonderful idea.
Matt's schedule was now very busy. He had lessons in the morning, audiences, time for reading letters, as well as meetings with the ministers. Matt felt like a real king now. Sometimes he was sad, because there wasn't even an hour left to play.
Hello, Your Highness. I would really like a new dress. I haven't got anything pretty to wear for my aunt's wedding.
Very well. Thank you.
Actually, could I have a really big doll? Even bigger than the other one.
You're a dope. And because you asked for too much, I won't give you the dress.
Your Highness, I live very far away from school, and we can't afford a horse, but I would like to learn. Please help me.
Of course I'll help, but are you the only one with this problem?
No, most of my neighbours don't go to school.
I see. I'll see what I can do.
Audience over.
I could help this child, but really it's all the children that need my help. I didn't even know children didn't go to school. What else don't I know about? Gentlemen, I thought that before that we had democracy in our country. However, I have come to realise that we do not have true democracy. Therefore, I decided that we shall build 2 parliaments. One for the grown-ups and one for the children. If the grown-ups feel I am too young for them, then maybe they'll elect themselves another king. We'll also need to produce a newspaper so the children can be kept up to date with what we are doing.
But who will write for the children's newspaper?
Well, the children will write. The ones that wrote such good letters to me.
And who will be the children's Prime Minister?
Fenwick be Prime Minister. This is a very serious reform, gentlemen.
Very well, we'll get right on it.
Your Majesty, I am sorry to say this, but there may be another war.
Oh, that can't happen. I need to finish the zoo and the parliaments. I want the children to spend the summer in nature. What can be done to avoid another war?
Well, if the foreign kings argue, and the stronger ones became our friends, war could be avoided.
Oh, that would be good. I think the Sad King would become friends of us. After all, it's his idea to build the parliaments in the first place.
Yes, that's very good. However, the
The other two will always remain our enemies.
Why?
Well, you see, the people will govern here. And if their people find out that they're governing here, their people want to govern there, then there could be a revolution.
Oh, I see. Well, that's why no flesh tonight. We have to try.
Very well.
It was late at night when Matt finally put down his pen. The rest of the capital was sleeping peacefully, and only Matt was still awake.
My little Teddy. You must be angry at me for not having played with you for so long. What can I do? As long as you're not broken, you don't need anything. But I have to look after real people, real problems. Oh no, I haven't written a letter to the second king yet. We can't wait, he might attack any moment.
After a night without any sleep, Matt did a whole day's work again.
Matt, a moment, please.
Yes, Doctor.
You have to respect your health. You're working too hard. You need to eat and sleep more. You're still growing. It isn't right.
I'll try, there's just so much work to do.
Your Majesty! We've just heard from our top spy that the old king's son is building more fortresses and drafting more soldiers.
Yes, we are in a very dangerous situation.
Well, what should I do?
I suggest we invite the other kings here. They can see the opening of the new parliament, the new zoo. But most importantly, we can see who's going to be our friends.
Good. Very good. Send me the invitations. But, Mr. Prime Minister, please, it's snowing. Please, if there's nothing that can't wait till tomorrow, I'd rather the meeting be postponed. Today, I'd like to play with the children.
Oh, it can wait a day.
Oh, what fun is it if no one throws snowballs at me? They're not poison arrows, you know.
Let's go for sleigh rides!
That's a great idea. Let's get the ponies.
1,000 pardons, Your Highness, but it really is an emergency.
You'll pay about him.
Your Majesty, we have just heard from the top spy that the old king has finished his fortresses and now has 6 times more gunpowder than us.
That rat! I've been building summer cannons and parliaments and even making shells and cannons.
That's not the worst of it either. Also, he has bribed our Secretary of State to switch out the parliamentary invitations to declarations of war instead. Oh. However, we have told our top spy to deliver the invitations personally and in secret. Like this will allow him to switch the invitations. We can catch him red-handed.
Good, good. But what about the fortress and the factory?
We can blow them up. That's precisely why we alerted Your Highness.
We're not at war. It's not honourable. We've invited them to visit and playing a dirty trick on at the same time.
Your Majesty, we must do it.
Will any workers die?
Yes. However, much fewer than if there was a war.
I know. I know.
I'm afraid we have no choice.
I know! So why are you asking me for my permission?
Because we cannot act without your say-so.
All right, blow up the factory, but leave the fortress for now. Now I know why the Saki plays such sad music.
Excuse me, Your Highness.
Gentlemen!
Quite all right.
Gentlemen, your attention, please. I arrest you in the name of the law as a spy and traitor. In accordance with the law, you shall be hanged.
Mr. Prime Minister, I have to go home to bed. I'm sick.
Is that so?
Okay, I admit it. I did it.
Why did you become a spy?
Got into a lot of debt. Lost a lot of money at cards.
Well, Your Majesty, it's clear this man must serve the death penalty.
Your Majesty, please don't let them kill me. I have a family, please.
I suppose you have the right to commute a sentence from death to life in prison.
Matt had a mountain of work to do before the other kings arrived. The palace had to be made ready for the guests. The zoo had to be built. Both parliament buildings, the summer camps. If that wasn't enough, elections had to be organised. The festivities also had to be organised. There's bands, flowers, table arrangements, cutlery for all of the feasts, all of the food. The city had to be made ready for the visitors. And Matt had meetings all the time now. It was a miracle he had any time to eat or sleep. In fact, Matt barely even left his desk these days.
Dear Matt, I have to say your reforms are very interesting. But I don't think things can always stay the way they are right now. You can't always have things just the way you want.
Oh, I know how hard it is. I've hardly ate or slept or done anything but work for weeks and weeks.
This is the final exhibit, ladies and gentlemen. These beavers are exceedingly rare, only found in one small corner of the world. The cage will now be opened and the beavers will be released into the enclosure.
I'm so sorry, Matt. Oh, sorry. It's me, Karen.
Karen? That poor girl from the letter?
Yes. My father, Abel, is king. So when he sent the beavers, I sneaked in because I have to see you.
Why? What's happened?
Well, in my country, all of the grown-ups are horrible to the children. They all hit us and everyone gets sick and we don't have any hospitals.
We'll talk about it later, Karen. Let's get you some food. What happened? What time is it?
Matt, my dear child, I am an old woman. My own life doesn't matter to me. You can order me hanged, shot, thrown in prison, I don't care. When he died, your father entrusted you to my care. I will not let you out of bed, and that's that. Anyone who tries to disturb you, I'll have them thrown down the stairs. Matt, you're trying to do in 1 year what other kings have taken 20 to do. You should see what you look like. Like the lowly Spanish child, not a king. 20,000 children will go off to camp tomorrow. Why should you be wasting away? It makes an old woman like me ashamed. So ashamed. Just look. You'll get sick and die. You won't finish your work. You're already sick.
What will happen to the country if the king is sick?
The parliaments are on summer holiday. We have enough money. What you need to do is go away for 2 months and rest.
But I'm supposed to inspect the ships.
The Prime Minister can fit in perfectly well.
And the children's letters.
Philip will read them. He's already been doing so well in the children's newspaper. Now, I'm going to get you some breakfast and then sleep. If things keep going like this, we'll soon be able to call you Your Royal Highness again. But you still don't look like a king. Like a skinny, worn-out little orphan who tried to take care of the whole world but had no one to take care of him.
What do the papers have to say?
Eric's article reads that the king is sick and will leave for vacation tomorrow with the rest of the children.
Who's going?
Me, the captain and his children, and Karen too. The Prime Minister and Felix will deal with everything here, so don't you worry.
My children, let's be cheerful. Yes, we've been ordered to leave the city, but at least we were able to swap those horrible, suffocating walls, the meadows of flowers, streams that we could bathe in, or woods full of berries and mushrooms. So let's all hold our heads up high. I want you all wearing your best clothes. Everyone pack your blue knapsack. And I want you all lined up by the door in 1 hour.
Everybody, to your rooms to pack. Now.
Where are we going?
I'm not sure, Anchor, but at least we'll be going together.
One step.
It's okay, my child, but I'll be with you the whole way there. You could even hold my hand if you like. Would you like that? Have you thought about what toy you want to bring?
I'm going to bring a book.
It's an excellent idea. Something to read on the train. Now, why don't we go pack that bag?
Looks like Karen's been out at the storeroom again. She must be out after something.
She's probably after some new insect or mushroom or whatnot.
Do hope she gets back soon. Get awfully worried about her.
Children of the world. Dear children, I, King Mat I, appeal for your help. I want a world where children don't have to be afraid of grown-ups, where grown-ups won't hit us or tell us that we're just stupid, silly little children. In the past, workers and women and peasants didn't have rights, but now they all do. Children are the only ones who don't have rights. If your kings won't agree, overthrow them and elect me.
Matt! I'm so sorry. I have to ask you something very important.
Carol, what happened to your dress?
Oh, this stupid thing always gets caught on something that's barbaric. No wonder the girls in your country are so awkward. You can't climb a tree or jump a fence with a dress.
But Karen, you can climb the trees better than most of the boys.
But those little things aren't really trees. They're little sticks for 2-year-olds, not big girls like me.
What is that you want, Karen?
Oh, yes. Well, I've been thinking a lot about the children from my country, and I would like to ask you to bring 50 of them here, and they can study here, and then we'll all go back and teach the others, and then start a new country.
Well, I'll have to think about it.
Oh, please, Matt. My father, Abel, is king, and he has so much gold, lots and lots of gold, so much gold he doesn't know what to do with it. And I think that if you wrote to him and told him that I was here and that you wanted to help me, well, he would definitely help and send you lots of gold.
I'll think about it.
Oh, thank you.
Dear Felix, please send a telegram to Abel, Karen's father, inviting him to send 100 of his country's children to... Felix, good to see you. I was just about to send you a telegram.
I'm here on an important official mission. Your Royal Highness try a cigar and a roaming worthy of a loyal nurse.
Felix, I don't smoke.
Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm here on official business. From now on, I will no longer be known as Felix, but as Baron Felix von Rauch. My parliament will be called the Progress Parliament, not Children's Parliament from now on. Furthermore, your Royal Highness should be officially crowned Emperor Matthew I. Otherwise, all of our reforms will go down the drain.
All right, I agree.
Furthermore, I demand a salary raise, my own office, and 2 automobiles. Oh, and I have an assistant now. He's a journalist at the children's paper. I need some money to pay him.
I agree.
Very well. Here are the papers to sign.
My dear fellow, please do not bother the king.
My dear doctor, please address me by my proper title.
What is that?
I am Baron Felix von Rauch.
Baron von Rauch. The king is on vacation for reasons of health. Moreover, I am responsible for his health. And in view of that,
can't wait to write about it in the children's newspaper.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go in. You are the delegates, chosen by your fellow children to represent them. Until now, I was all alone. I wanted to make life better for everyone, but it's very difficult for one person to know what everybody needs. I hope that someday, children from all over the world will come together and discuss their own special needs. The workers have their own flag, a red one. The children shall have a flag of their own. Perhaps they'll choose green, because the forest is green and children love the forest. I wish you all a good luck in Parliament, and I look forward to hearing what you'll suggest.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness. Now, who had a good time at camp? No shouting! Anyone who shouts will be thrown out! Now, let's all take turns talking. Who'd like to go first?
I want to say we didn't have a good time at all. There were no games to play, the food was bad, and when it rained, the water dripped on your head because there were holes in the roof.
I want to keep pigeons.
Every child should have a watch. And more pockets. My father has 13 pockets and I've only got 2. I don't have enough room for all my stuff.
Every day should be Halloween.
And April Fool's Day.
We want people to be like angels.
I think every child should be allowed to break a window once a month.
Abolish girls and little children.
Okay, that's enough. We'll continue tomorrow's session. Delegates, why do you want to abolish girls? What have they done to you?
There's one horrible little girl who lives in my courtyard, and she always picks fights. And when you do something back to her, she runs off and tattles.
Oh.
These delegates are all idiots, making people into angels and magicians. I think that you should let me come to a parliamentary session, because I could show them a thing or two. Why aren't there any girls in Parliament?
Well, there are, but they don't say anything.
Today's session is now open. The agenda. Point 1, children should have more pockets. Point 2, girls should be abolished. Point 3, every child should have a watch. Point 4, children should not be kissed. Point 1, who would like to speak in favour?
I think we should have 6 pockets to fit everything in.
But girls only need 2 pockets because they don't have as much stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to a vote. All those in favour? Motion passes. Now, on to the question of abolishing girls.
Girls are crybabies.
Girls are touchy.
Girls are fairies. And so dainty.
Girls are gossipy.
Girls scratch.
What does abolishing mean?
I would like to speak. In my country, the girls are as good as the boys in everything. In running, in climbing, in somersaults. I don't understand you people at all. The boys are always quarrelling with the girls. They're mean, and they fight with them, and they stop them from playing. And order! Boys have dirty ears and hands, and they ruin their clothing. And here, the girls are weaker than the boys, and so the boys treat them differently. And sometimes they hit them, and they even pretend it was an accident.
Look who's telling us what to do.
The king's girlfriend.
That's why. That you pussycat.
Shut up!
Don't worry, it's not broken. In my country, we just need one day to get over a fight like this. You're more delicate, but you'll be all right in a week.
And never set any foot there again. Tell the newspapers that there'll be no more letter reading, no more audiences, and no more presents. I've had it.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Get me the Prime Minister. Who's speaking? The King. The Prime Minister is not at home. But I know it's you I'm talking to.
It's you, Your Royal Highness. I beg your pardon, but I can't come to the palace. I'm sick and just getting into bed. That's why I said I wasn't at home.
He must have already heard.
Felix is here, Your Highness.
What do the papers have to say?
Our newspaper will say that the session was stormy, but it will also give some guidelines for better manners. Unfortunately, the delegate who tried to hit Karen can't be flogged, but she did already give him a good walloping. Tomorrow's session will begin at 12, Your Highness.
That doesn't concern me, I won't be going.
Why not? They'll think Your Highness is scared.
But my feelings have been hurt!
The delegates will come to beg Your Majesty's pardon.
Fine.
Also, Your Royal Highness should read this. This will be printed in tomorrow's newspaper.
Are you sure about this? They've gone on strike.
Indeed, all of the children in Queen Campanelli's country have gone on strike. They think the grown-ups have treated them unfairly. They want their own parliament. Anyway, I must be off now. I have an important meeting with my assistant.
King Matt should be king of the children of all the world. We should have the same right as grown-ups. We deserve them just the same. I think the reformed king is nothing like the sad king said. It's all going well for me. I'm sure it's been difficult at times, but only little things, nothing serious.
Things are bad! The children won't study. They laugh at the teachers now. They say, what have you done to us? We'll tell our delegates. We can do whatever we want. The older children are totally out of hand. They fight and tease the younger children now. The teachers have given us 2 weeks or they're walking. 2 have already gone. One started a soda water stand and the other's opened a button factory. It's preposterous.
The grown-ups are also dissatisfied. They say the children have swelled heads and think they can do whatever they want. They're roaming the streets like savages in torn clothes.
And now I know what we'll do. Every child who goes to school will receive a salary. What good does it make? What difference does it make if we give them money or chocolates or toys? The children have to know they'll have to work or they won't get paid.
We can try it.
Have it printed on posters around the city by in the morning.
What's the point of Parliament if His Royal Highness is just going to make new laws himself?
I'm sorry.
And what's the point of a newspaper if it's going to put up on posters all around the city? You must say that chocolate will continue to be distributed, or there'll be revolution. We'll discuss this in Parliament today.
If it goes to a subcommittee, that means a long wait. And the teacher said they only wait 2 weeks before they walk out.
Delegates, gentlemen, I went to school once. I know what happens there. 1 year, I was kicked out of school 112 times, and all for no reason. And do you think this school was anything special? I've been to 6 different schools. It's the same everywhere. Grown-ups don't go to school, so they don't know how lousy it is. If the teachers don't want to teach the grown-ups, the children, let's make a law so they have to teach the grown-ups instead. Then they'll see how lousy it is. They'll stop crabbing at us. There's no time for questions. Let's move to a vote. All those in favour? Motion passes. Extra, extra. You not pass. Children to go to work and parents to go to school.
Did you see the bad kids go past? But didn't you see them? They took a whole basket of fruit and didn't pay.
Which way did they go?
How should I know? You're supposed to be watching.
Well, if you don't know, how would I know? I've got 50 stores to watch. You've only got the one.
You're a turd!
How was school? It was all right. Did you make dinner?
Yes, I hope it's okay, Mum.
Me too. I don't have time to cook anything. Got so much homework for tomorrow. The teacher told me that grown-ups get more homework than children. It isn't fair.
Did any of you have to sit in the corner?
Oh, yes.
What for?
There were 2 people who knew each other from before. They sat and chatted the whole lesson. The Teacher had to tell them off twice and they still didn't listen. He eventually got put in the corner.
Did they cry?
One laughed, the other had tears in her eyes.
Did the boys pick on you?
A little.
It's just how it was for us.
Things were far from running smoothly. The telephones were working very badly, and the letters weren't being sorted properly. In fact, a train had derailed, but no one knew how many people got hurt, because the telegraphs weren't being sent.
Patience, that's all we need. Every reform takes time.
A subcommittee was working on a new law, so that teachers, children, and parents would all be satisfied.
Guess what just happened?
What?
1,000 children from my country have arrived.
1,000?
Yeah.
I invited 100.
Oh, the message must have got scrambled.
In
But
fact,
this
a
is even
pigeon.
better.
In fact, a pigeon pecked the telegraph wire, tapping out an extra 0.
Now, I can't wait to go back and start teaching the others, and we can get a new country, and everyone's going to learn to read, and I just can't wait. Thank you so much.
The rules were on stage, Your Majesty.
But how?
It wasn't the children's fault. The zookeepers left without telling the children which switches operated the cages. So they switched one by mistake.
Well, where are the wolves now?
Nobody knows. One woman's gone mad. She swore she was chased by 2 cobras, 3 zebras, and a beaver.
A beaver?
Oh no. Okay. Well. Okay. I know wolves. I bet they're hiding in the park round the corner from the zoo. I'm going to go there now with a couple of the children. We'll sort them out in no time. It's a shame the lions didn't escape too.
Send for the chief of police. I'm going with Karen. What happened?
She was shot, she was wrestling the wolf, and then the police they started shooting everywhere.
Go get help. You're going to get paid, Karen.
Everybody line up.
Line up as man says, children.
Dr. Goldszmidt, you are known as Corsac Bolton.
Yes, that's the name I write under.
My children love your books.
Thank you. I'm glad they like them.
You know, I could get you out of the country. I'd hate to see a man of such talent go to Treblinka. Well, you must decide now, sir. There is very little time left.
No, thank you. But no, thank you.
What? Are you mad? You will surely die.
You do not leave a sick child in the night, and you especially do not leave children at a time like this.
Matt, what have you done? Matt, come to your senses, you're in great danger. Shame if I was here a week ago, I could have helped, but the railroads are a nightmare since the children took over. Maybe it's for the best, I got to hear what people were saying about you in the wagons. Things are bad, Matt.
But what's so bad?
A lot. You're being deceived, so that you don't know what's going on.
I know everything. I read the papers every day. The children get the hang of things, and slowly. Reforms aren't easy.
You read one newspaper, your own, and it's full of lies. Here.
King Matt has gone mad? Prime Minister a thief? 2 fortresses blown up, train derailed, war in it, down with a tyrant king. These papers are full of lies. What's this about me being a tyrant?
It's okay. We can go to the palace if you want. We can see what things are like. See, man? A train lying on its side. All the shops are closed.
What happened?
I I heard the train driver didn't know when you managed to break it. 100 people died. Did you hear that? It's the crying from the hospital. And the groans, that's the children who are meant to be helping. We don't know what they're doing. How could they? Would you like to go back to the palace?
No. I'm going to the newspapers to have a word with that journalist. I'm pretty sure if I fell it there as well.
Up there. Remind you recognise.
Meet you back at the palace then. How can you do this to me, Felek?
What are you talking about?
The lies! The newspapers lies! The country's in chaos!
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the starving people, the train derailed, the fortune has blown up!
I'm sorry. He said those nice things, it was all lies.
What do you mean?
It was his idea to change my name and ask for all those things. I thought he was my friend, but he wasn't. You filthy spy! Stop him! Have me hung, my king. It's all my fault.
What's done is done. The important thing now is to be calm and careful. We have to think as what is to be done now.
I'll confess to everything.
Listen, Felek, I need your help. The telephones are down. Do you know where the ministers live?
Of course I do. They live all over the city. But that's not a problem. I've got good legs. Do you need them summoned?
Immediately. How long do you need?
Half an hour.
Good. And then if the ministers say they're sick, tell them that I'll have Henryk a horrible voice in my veins.
They'll be here all right.
Where is the man who was here before?
Oh, he just left, but he left this letter for you.
Dear Matt, my friend, I have to leave you. If I didn't know you so well, I would have proposed that you come with me. I'll be taking the Northern Highway if you wish to join. I wish I could spare you even 1/10 of the pain that awaits you. Please destroy this letter.
What do you want, Karen?
Matt, you don't have to hide your worries from me. You can trust me, I won't let you down.
And just what is it that you know?
Well, the other kings are jealous of you because Abel gave you more gold than them. The sad king feels sorry for you, but he is weak and afraid.
Okay.
It's all arranged. They'll be here.
Good. Now tell me everything you know.
I stole money. I took bribes. If I took your Royal Highness's place at an audience, sometimes I didn't give out all the presents. If I liked something, I kept it to myself. But I was never a spy. It was a journalist idea to take the name Barrel and demand a medal. I thought he was my friend. And then he told me about a document. To the ministers, telling them all to retire. I wouldn't do it. And then he told me he'd tell you about all the stealing and the bribes. I couldn't see how he knew all that. I was scared silly. And there was another document. A proclamation to the children of the world, telling them to revolt.
I see. Well, if you have done very many bad things, Felek, but I forgive you.
You forgive me? The Royal Highness really forgives me. I know what I'm to do.
What?
I'll tell my father everything I've done, and he'll give me such a beating that I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Oh, what good is that, Felek? There are better things for doing for paying for what you did. The country's in chaos. I must be able to count on you.
The Minister of War has arrived, Your Majesty.
Mr. Minister of War, please. Tell me everything you know.
I can report that we have 3 fortresses left out of 5. We had enough ammunition for 3 months. Now, 10 days.
How's the troops' morale?
The soldiers and officers are grumbling. It offends them to go to civilian schools. When I first received the letter of dismissal...
The letter was a forgery!
I didn't know that.
Will they all forgive me if I put things back to where they were?
Your Highness, you can count on us. From me down to the lowliest private, we'll defend our country and our honour as soldiers.
That's good. That's very good. Gentlemen, all your dismissal papers were forgeries written by the journalist. He was a spy. Now we must find ourselves a way out of this mess.
Very well, Your Highness. First things first, we must print in the newspaper that the children go back to school and the adults go back to work, even if they're late.
We'll close the Parliament temporarily.
But what to do about the Children's Parliament?
We can have a subcommittee, work out all the regulations before we reopen it. All laws must be passed through the adult parliament before being passed into law.
Yes, that's a wonderful idea.
Your Highness will send a proclamation to the army also.
Very well. Our two most important fortresses have been blown up, so let the heroic heart of every soldier be our defence against anyone who would attack our nation.
We'll get right on it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That's it for now, gentlemen. We'll have to wait for the post and telegraph to work before we can find out what's going on around the world, but most importantly, in the country.
What could have happened?
We simply don't know. We don't know anything.
Everything was fine the next day. The teachers did not admit this to the children, but the grown-ups had caused them a lot of problems too. The factory workers were the only ones who were really angry, but the unemployed workers were happy to lend a hand, hoping that they might be kept on. The crooks were lying low. They had stolen plenty and eaten until they were stuffed, but some of them, the ones that weren't really crooks, even returned what they had stolen. Meanwhile, Karen resumed her lessons with the children. Unfortunately, poor Karen had no idea what a sad end would soon come to her classes.
How are things, Prime Minister? Not good. It's war.
Your Majesty, the old king has renounced the throne and given the crown to his son. The son has invaded and is 30 miles inside the border.
Well, are we going out to meet him?
Impossible. The people will have to defend themselves. We can send out a couple of small detachments, but it's a waste of men and rifles. My opinion is, let them come. The main battle will take place on the field right outside the capital. Either we win or we lose. You must excuse me, I have to prepare.
Gentlemen, you may not agree with me, but here's my advice. I suggest we send a letter to the kings asking them exactly what they want. They only want money. We have plenty. We can avoid this war. Why not give them half our gold?
Mr. Prime Minister, I don't think they'll agree. Why take half the gold when you can have it all?
I suggest this. We humbly request.
Oh, can we say something else other than we humbly request?
It is our desire to end hostilities and to pay the war costs with half our gold.
So, Matt's found out about the war. Matt's so generous, isn't he? He'll give me half his gold. What a present. Who wouldn't be tempted?
What answer should I bring my king? 5 gold is enough. We can give you more, but I would like an answer, please.
All right. Tell Matt that you don't negotiate with little children. You give them a good thrashing. And don't bring me any more letters, or we might take you prisoner. Off with you. Be quick about it.
Matt wants my help. The young king's invaded. The young king wants me and the other kings to ally ourselves against Matt.
Footmen, prepare the royal train for departure.
I have to do something to make the other kings angry with Matt. I know that letter to all the children I found in Matt's office. I'll copy it, put it up all over the city, and they'll sing a different tune.
have to understand, Matt did nothing wrong. It's simply not fair. We must help him.
Very well, I suppose you're right.
Look what Matt's been up to. He's inciting the children to revolt. He wants to become king of all the world. Here's a leaflet I found on the street. Sorry, it's a bit dirty.
Your kings won't agree overthrow them and elect me. My God.
There's no choice, I'm afraid. We'll have to align against Matt. The children are already giving us trouble.
Maybe I should declare war on that too. Give some help after the war. Show him some mercy. The other kings certainly won't.
So even the sad king has betrayed me. Well, that's the way it goes. In the last war I showed the Matt in victory, and now I'll show the Matt in death.
The entire city went out with shovels and begun to dig 3 lines of trenches and build ramparts.
We won't give them an inch unless we have to.
The battle lasted the entire day, with the enemy suffering heavy losses, but Matt still held on tight.
We have very little ammunition. We must not waste it.
Maybe we should make peace.
No, we have to teach that brat a lesson.
The battle raged from morning until nightfall. Karen and her students hadn't been in the battle yet because they had no weapons. They couldn't find the right kind of wood for making bows and arrows, but finally they had everything ready.
Here's my advice. With close right to the final line of defence, then send someone over to the enemy camp and say that Abel has sent Matt, wild animals, and more ammunition. Then, in the morning, we can release the moose and we can fire arrows at the enemies. That'll give them a proper scare, and then we can talk about making peace.
Oh, would that be cheating?
No. That's called military strategy. So it's agreed.
I'll go disguised as an enemy soldier.
Maybe we should send out beavers as well. Beavers are scarier than moose inside.
No. Beavers are moody and finicky, but you can always rely on a moose.
Hey! Did you hear about all the lions that Matt has? What? Yeah, apparently Abel sent them over to him along with boatloads of soldiers, moose too, all sorts of wild animals.
You don't. You must have dreamed it.
You heard the news?
No, what?
That foreign King Abel sent loads of poisonous animals to help King Matt out.
Rubbish.
No, you can hear the wild animals roaring.
Nonsense.
You won't be saying that when you're getting torn to pieces by wild animals.
We have to be in Matt's capital tomorrow. We're far from home. We have to ship all our supplies in by train. Now, Matt has the home advantage. But remember, civilians panic easily. Tomorrow morning, our planes will start bombing the city, and the civilians will force Matt to surrender. And we have to make it impossible for our troops to withdraw. We'll position machine guns in the rear, and if they try to retreat, we'll open fire at them.
Open fire on our own troops?
We have to be in the city tomorrow, or I'm in trouble. And any soldier who tries to flee the battlefield is our enemy and not one of us.
No one slept that night, neither in Matt's camp or his enemies.
Waste your ammo! Waste it good!
Here they come!
Unfortunately, Matt only had 5 aeroplanes. Now the children liked the planes best of all, which meant they had ruined nearly all of them. A furious air battle began, and the enemy lost 6 planes, but Matt lost all of his.
Aha! They ran away, and they didn't even have time to take their body with them.
We have to be in the city today.
It's a big rush.
Bring up the cannons and machine guns. Attack!
Archers ready? Fire!
Release the animals!
Look, they're retreating! Oh, no, we don't have any more beavers, damn! There's no choice but to make a cavalry charge. Everybody with me! Tear down those flags! Follow me to die with honour!
Dr. Henryk, where are we going? Where are the others? I want to see my friends. I'm thirsty.
Everyone, let's calm down. There's no need to fret needlessly. There's nothing we can do right now. Remember, we're together. Whatever happens, we'll stay together.
How long will it take?
I don't know, my dear, but at least the rest of the day.
Everybody get out! This way!
Come on, my children.
Children this way. Adults over here.
We're not leaving them.
Adults over here.
We're not leaving them.
I'm trying to help.
We will not leave them. Please, let us stay. Let us stay with them.
Fine, you can stay. Everybody leave your belongings here. You'll get them back later.
Why? Where are we going?
You're going to the showers for delousing. You'll get your belongings back later. Leave your stuff here and your clothes over there. If you ask one more question, there's going to be trouble.
Okay, we'll do it. Don't worry. Come on, everyone. Let's do as the man says. Put all of your belongings over here and all of your clothes over there. Last wish, to die with honour, was not to come true. Instead of 1 minute of suffering, cruel fate had hours of pain and humiliation in store for him. The army had surrendered, and in all of Matt's kingdom there was only one place still free. The house where the beavers had been kept.
He shot the negotiator. Let's put an end to this farce. We've conquered all Matt's country. Are we going to be stopped by that hen house? We have to set a cannon here and fire twice on either side of the building. And if it doesn't come crawling out, we'll destroy the nasty little wolf's den.
One moment. Please remember that there are 3 armies here and 3 kings.
So what do you suggest?
Matt can't do us any harm from inside the building. I suggest we surround him, and hunger will force him out. Meanwhile, we can calmly discuss what we'll do with him when he's taken prisoner.
He should be taken out and shot.
And I think that history would not forgive us if we harm one hair on that brave poor boy's head.
History will be fair. If somebody is to blame for so many deaths and so much bloodshed, then he isn't a child. He's a criminal.
It's as much our fault as his. You forget who's gone to war both times. Us, not him.
Okay. Have some food. We must be ready to defend ourselves for a month. The people will come to our aid, I know they will.
Matt, it's been 3 days. You need to eat something.
No. I'm not hungry. You two eat.
What's that? Funny smell.
Sleeping gas! Your kings are awfully stingy. 1 roll and 1 cup of milk. When the old king was my prisoner, I treated him better than this. Oh, please, that's too much. I don't want to insult my benefactors. Please, there are 3 of them, so I'll take 1 roll from each. Please, take the extra one back.
The indictment is as follows. Matt issued a manifesto calling on all children to revolt. Matt wanted to cause world revolution so he could become king of the world. Matt shot a negotiator who is approaching him with a white flag. Since by then Matt was no longer even a king, he will be tried as an ordinary criminal. The penalty for these crimes is death by hanging or firing squad. Do you have anything to say?
It's not true that I published a manifesto. I wrote it, but I was never going to show it to anyone. And it's not true that I was no longer king when I shot the negotiator.
All right. Gentlemen, please read your statement.
We held a meeting in the capital during the battle, while bombs were demolishing our city. One bomb even blew out all the windows in the room we were conferring in. We, the residents of the capital, wishing to save our wives and children, decided that we no longer wanted Matt as our king. And so, we deprived him of his throne and crown. We hung out the white flag as a sign we did not want war, and that it was not our king who was at war, but only Matt who would have to answer for everything himself. We are not to blame.
Sign here, please, to confirm this document's legality.
I do not agree with this statement made by a bunch of traitors and cowards that sold out their country. I am and I will always remain king at the first.
You admit you wanted to become king of all the children.
I did. And I do. And I would have succeeded, but I did not publish a manifesto.
Matt must be sentenced to death, or else there will be no peace in this world. Do you wish to say anything in your defence? Does Matt wish to speak?
What's the point? It's late now. Why waste time?
The verdict is death by firing squad.
I wish you all a good night, gentlemen. Children of the world, I, King Matt, appeal for your help. I want a world where children can live in peace and happiness, free from fear and suffering. I want a world where grown-ups won't hit us, or tell us that we're just stupid, silly little children. I want us to have the same rights as grown-ups. King Matt the First.
Hamakom, the love run life.